All right. Hi, Huey Min. Thank you so much
Hi,
for
Jami.
really giving the time and space to have a conversation with us. Yeah, so let's start off with you giving us an introduction about yourself and maybe your art journey.
I'm Huey Min, and I mainly work with clay, so you can call me ceramic artist or just artist. Yeah. So I graduated from LaSalle 2003, LaSalle SIA then. And after that, I was teaching for pottery, hobby pottery for a while. Went to Taiwan to study in 2010. After that, went on to Japan to practice for a few years, and now I'm back in Singapore.
Oh, nice. Thank you so much. Yeah. So we wanted to also go deeper into your crafts, and you mainly work with nature as well. Yeah. So we wanted to ask how does connecting with nature have such a close sentiment to you, and also your works as well.
So I guess all along I'm interested with the formalistic or how just nature's presence in our life. But it really came to me strong when I was overseas. When I went Taiwan, I think over there near the university, the pace is slower, not so busy.
Yep.
That's when I started, taking my time to smell the flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And over there, there's like 4 seasons, so you really see the change.
Yes.
And yeah. So from then, I started my works about collecting some botanical parts, and then start using them as an element, and then for my art making.
Yeah.
Then I didn't really know what kind of artwork I want to do. I was just testing. I was just seeing how all this thing works for me. And then slowly it developed to the processes that I have now. Yeah.
Okay. Then can you share with us a bit more also about how you create these works? So what are the processes behind it?
So for most of the work, I make the casting mold from an original part. That means I didn't mold it. It's actually from a real botanical part.
Yeah.
So I will have to forage it first. I will have to pick it up first. And most of them are from my surrounding. Like when I was in Taiwan, it was seeds and seed pods from Taiwan.
Okay.
And while I was in Japan, then those are the things from Japan. And back in Singapore, sometimes I use some of the collection that I have when I was traveling, and also as well as elements from Singapore. So the very part about the foraging, the picking up, the collecting is also a very important part of my work. So when I look back at my works now, it brings me back to the time when I was picking those things up. So after I pick it up, I will select and make mold so that I could cast them and duplicate them.
Yeah.
So during this process, I have to study the form really carefully.
Okay.
And then see how am I going to divide it, how does it work as a cast. So usually at that point of time, I still don't know how the final works will be like.
Oh, okay.
So only after the cast, I will decide how I want to put it together.
Okay.
Yeah, so the from picking up to making the mold, the plan might change depending on how the element responds to me too.
Yeah.
And also the resources I have around me, like the kilns, the size of the kilns and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's very interesting because that means your work really shifts through time and it keeps changing, and there's a versatility to it also. Yeah. Oh, very interesting.
And also the size, if the parts are very small, then most likely it will affect the size of the work as well.
Like the final size of the work.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we wanted to also ask what is so different about this process-based exhibition, and also what affordances has it provided you as an artist?
So this space has allowed me to really, because it's so big, right? And then it's unlike shows that we do in galleries.
Okay.
So this one, I solely have to just think about what I want to, like, I can show my processes. Like, this is the first time I've been showing my master mold and some of my other molds. Usually you only see the final product.
Yes.
But this time, I really get to share the molds, which I really like. Like, I think for all the processes, mold making is my favorite part.
Okay.
Yeah.
How come?
How come? I think I like the part whereby the problem solving part.
Okay.
And then finally, when the cast is out, yes.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So the least, the less exciting part for me will be doing the cast.
Okay.
So after the mold is done, I will have to make the cast and accumulate enough for me to assemble together.
Yeah.
So that's the part whereby, you know, every day you just do 3 rounds and stuff, depending on how many molds you have.
Okay.
Yeah. So this exhibition not only let me show my processes, and I kind of also dig out all my works from different times of my art making.
Yeah.
So I could see in one room like how it evolved, how at different time I was interested in either this glaze or this technique and why it was. So it's kind of like a clearer picture when you look at it in one room or one big table.
Yeah, it's like a really like macro view of all your works.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's super interesting. Also, like the way like different kind of glazes like kind of reflect off the light and the surfaces of like this exhibition also. Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah. Okay, so we wanted to also ask you what are some highlights of ceramics and also the processes that you can also help share some light to like people who want to like find out more, and also how like help other people appreciate this art medium more.
Definitely, this medium is it humbles you.
Okay, interesting. I don't know it.
It can be very frustrating and challenging, and I feel it's also this characteristic that charms people and let people be able to, you know, push for it, work on it longer. There's at different stages, there's just so many ways it can go wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, like the cracks, even haven't reached the kiln already cracked already. Yeah, things like that. It's just so many things can go wrong. I think this part is very humbling. You can take care of every stage. Then until the glazing stage, the glaze go wrong, everything have to redo.
Yes.
So I guess this part is very challenging, and if anybody embarking on this learning ceramics, don't get discouraged. We all kind of learn through that way, learn through mistakes and stuff. Yeah. And I think ceramics, sorry, I forgot the question.
Any highlights of ceramics? Like what are some parts you like also? Other than challenges?
Yeah, it's a very difficult medium. I think I like it because it's challenging.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So this material used to be like just for very functional stuff like cups, bowls, toilet bowls, basin, like very practical stuff. But maybe the recent, not too long history, like after the World War II, it came into as art material. That's like used by sculptors and all, that people start to use it for bigger sculptures and non-functional sculptural work. So I guess this part of the material, the emphasis of the function of the materials change is also what makes it very different from other mediums.
Yeah. Okay, nice. Yeah. Okay, so where do you think the ceramics community and culture in Singapore is at right now, and where do you see it heading towards?
definitely compared to 10 over years ago, there are more people doing it as a like hobby. So I definitely see more interest and then more audiences.
Okay.
I mean, when there's more interest, there will be more audience, which is good. But as for in the art market and also the art scene, maybe we can have more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
looking forward to it. I see there's there will be more ceramic artists.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. So then, how do you think we or the institutions can also support the local ceramics community in Singapore?
I feel that like in Singapore, some of the technique is like not so accessible.
Okay.
Because we don't have the equipments to support it. Like gas kiln. There are only a handful of places that have a gas kiln in Singapore. Therefore, people don't really get to learn about this gas firing or some other techniques. So I guess if institution can offer a better, like this exhibition is a good showcase, like other than exhibition, if like workshop wise in art institution, they can have more variety in kilns and equipments that will make more difference, I think, like the next level. I don't know, I feel so.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. So I think the last question that I'm also curious about is also what kind of ceramics process and the different aspects do you think are beneficial for like the education side of Singapore? So it can be primary school or it can even go up to tertiary level.
Well, I guess I feel clay is a material that can teach the kids a lot of things. Like when you're playing with clay, you are so focused. Even for adults, you don't think about using your handphone. Your hands are so dirty.
That's true. Yes. Okay.
And so tactile, it responds to you immediately. Yeah, and if it's too dry, it cracks in front of you. Too wet, it just get very, it is so responsive. And it also teaches you how to be patient, to wait. Like after you make plate, I cannot put on the colors. I want it now. No, you cannot have it now. You got to wait. So it's like progressive. So I guess this material is so fun and so different from, like now we are so digital, we are so like fast, information are so fast and also disposable. You don't want to watch video, you just swipe it off and things like that. So I guess this material is very good exercise and also to introduce them another kind of sensation, I feel. Experience. So I definitely encourage this to be like a part of the curriculum for elementary or secondary. Or maybe more elementary. Not everybody needs to be a ceramic artist or a potter, but I feel that they shouldn't be missing out on this process. It's really fun for even adults. So needless to say for kids.
Yeah. All right. So we have a lot of your works out here on this table. Can you maybe share with us a bit more about this work in particular?
Okay. This work I made in Taiwan for my MFA graduate show.
Okay.
So that period of time, I was more interested in like presenting them in part vessel form, as you can see that this and this. So this piece is called Reliance. So it's actually two part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this one it cannot stand without that. On its own. So it's also this very work that I started to assemble the parts with just glazes.
Okay.
So some of the earlier works, I joined them during it's still in the clay stage. But this one, I actually join it only by glaze.
Okay.
Yeah, so throughout all the different works, I have new discovery about the different techniques and the glaze, which I'm excited about. Then I'll test it out further and then move on from there.
Okay, so that's why like only like some of the sections
I
of
glaze.
it is glazed.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So for this one, also joined by glaze, but this one I dip the whole thing in, so you can see it's slightly different. This is like the evolved version of the joining with glaze, and because but it on its own is really fragile, so I use paraffin wax
At the bottom.
at the bottom to make it a little bit more solid, not so fragile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this little bits of the processes is what that makes me very excited.
Yeah, and also we can see kind of like a little bit like difference between like the color. Like, is it because of the glaze or just naturally?
The clay and the glaze also, like this is what I made in Taiwan, this is in Japan, and this, the glaze itself is a little bit yellowish.
Okay.
And if you see this work, it's exactly the same glaze.
Okay.
But in different firing, like this is a reduction firing, this is an oxidation firing.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, they give a very different look.
The finish is totally different. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I also want to ask you a little bit more about how you think, as an artist, how you can translate maybe your works or the different processes into maybe classroom activities that you think are suitable for like the younger children.
So my processes can be a bit too too time consuming, but there are parts that I feel that's really fun for them. Like the foraging part, the first part of my work.
Yeah.
They can just go out there and pick up like you know, branches, seeds, and they just put them together. It can be artwork also.
Yeah.
And it's fast, it's close to them. It's maybe a tree that they walk past every day, but they don't realize it.
Yeah.
So that was how I felt when I was in Taiwan and I start to look around. Then I realized, hey, Singapore has mahogany tree too. Yeah,
Okay.
so which I didn't realize first, but I think you have to make a conscious effort of like taking note of them, because the trees in Singapore are all like so nicely trained, planted so well.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can take them for granted.
Yeah, that's true.
Except other than the foraging part, I think the other activities like just playing. I have a. Sorry, I need to cut this part. But I have a workshop with an artist before.
Okay.
We are all adults already. She's not young children, but we had so much fun. So what she did, she just get us to bring a cloth to blindfold ourselves.
Okay.
And then she plays some music, and we were just responding to the music.
Okay.
So it's not about the end result, what you get. It's not even about firing those pieces. It's just how the material responds to you. Yeah, then I realized that like, oh my God, this is such a nice, I feel that this would be such a nice activity for young children. So I'm just sharing here.
Then for that activity, when after you like unblindfold yourself, like how was it like when you look at your different work?
It's totally different from what you imagined.
Okay.
Yeah, which then you look back from a moment ago, it doesn't matter anymore. I was having so much fun just now.
Yeah.
So the end product is not necessarily like that important.
Like, so the whole like process itself is like the main enjoyment and the main fun also.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's also a lot like how you do your works, right? Like,
And we also have another activity whereby we blindfold and then we try to touch some object and we just sculpt it out. Maybe a little bit difficult for
Quite
elementary,
interesting,
but maybe tertiary, that will be totally fun.
Like you try to recreate, is it?
So you try not to use like your logical brain, like your eye, but you really use the sensation, the touch, and then you try to like, and again, the final result is not important.
That's true. Yeah. Oh, that's very interesting. Thank you for sharing.
No problem.